And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about 7 different areas of technology that will be different by the year 2025 rolls around. And again, these aren't just things I've plucked out of thin air. These are things that I've done a lot of research on and worked through to make sure that I've got up-to-date and valid information. So there's 7 areas of technology I'm going to talk about. The first one is mobile internet. At the moment, we have 5 billion people across the world that have mobile internet. By the year 2025, there will be more people with access to mobile internet than access to electricity. They'll use about 500 exabytes of data. An exabyte is 10 to the power of 18 bytes of data. 75% of that data will be used on watching videos. So the estimation is that by 2025, we'll be able to increase farm production on average by 20% using devices. About 80% of Fortune 500 companies now are using cloud computing for mission critical applications. And to give you a specific example, back when I was installing computers for clients, Exchange Server was something that a lot of clients wanted to give them access to email and shared calendars and a whole range of things that organisations loved in a large organisation. But the problem was to install an Exchange Server was about $10,000. Jump forward a few years, the cloud computing paradigm says, don't worry about spending $10,000 on an Exchange Server. For $10 per user, you can have the same functionality, but someone out there in the cloud has said, well, I'll install a whole bunch of these servers worth $10,000 and I'll make my money out of each individual user paying their $10 per month to use that. So for the company that's got 3 employees, they might say, well, $30 a month, that's a long time to pay off $10,000, so I think I'll go that way. Now, robots are used at the moment for 12% of the manufacturing workforce across the world. You have a robot that does whatever you want it to do. So we'll start to see robots in everyday life. And again, by the year 2025, you'll have people who will have robots in their homes. I don't mow my lawn anymore. My lawnmower undocks twice a week, mows my lawn, mulches it to keep the moisture in the soil, and then docks itself back again. Electric vehicles will be 20% of our new car sales by 2025, regardless of whether politicians advocate or talk against it, because the market is taking us there. It's very freaky looking at someone in the driver's seat with their arms folded with their back to the road. But that's where we'll get to, and we'll see a huge increase. We'll see 20% of our power being produced by renewables. So let me just paint a very small picture of how our world may look by 2025. Pick a family with 2 kids. Mum and Dad get up in the morning, Mum's got an early start to work, so she goes and jumps on her autonomous vehicle and tells it to take her to work, but pick up Billy and Mary on the way to save a bit on the trip to work. Picks up Billy and Mary, drops Mum off to work while they've sat around in the back doing a bit of work, catching up with each other maybe, drops them off to work, and then the car comes back home with no driver, with no passenger, to pick up the kids for school. Car drops them off to school, comes back home, Dad's going to go down to the supermarket to get a few veggies. He doesn't like to get them home delivered, he likes to look at the veggies still, gets in the autonomous car, goes down, picks up some veggies, comes back home, but then the car goes off and is used by people during the day. That's the modern day of a modern family, if you like. Most importantly, from my perspective, is that when the husband comes in with his veggies, he just gives them to the robot to cook dinner for them. So he can claim credit for that at the end of the day when his wife comes home. So that's my picture of 2025. Happy to take any comments, questions on that.